right, welcome to Life Extension Live. I'm Dr. Mike, and this is
Dr. Crystal.
So today it's all about summer. Woohoo!
I know.
Yeah, it's hot. We're out in the sun. Maybe you got some trips coming up, some vacation time, some resorts. It's just we're more active. We're outdoors. And here's what happens sometimes, Dr. Crystal. We get off our routines.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
I'm all the way off my routine.
Yeah, I mean, diet-wise, nutrients for our routine-wise. So summertime it's exciting. There's just so much going on. But we want to make sure that you stay healthy at the end of the day, right?
Yes.
We want you to have good energy. We don't want you to be sore from all the workouts you're doing. And right, you want to keep going all the way through because right around the corner is fall and cold weather coming up. So let's make use of our time. So on today's show, we're going to talk about the must-have nutrients to enhance your summer activities, including travel, right? We're going to throw travel, kind of scatter it out throughout there, right? And spending more time in the sun. Plus, we'll cover nutrients for summertime sleep. That's nice. I like that. Energy and more. So this is going to be exciting. Do you have a lot of plans for summer?
No, we're kind of having a laid-back summer, a lazy summer. Lazy.
That's
like as lazy as it can be with an 8-year-old and a 5-year-old.
Yeah, lazy for her. It is like she's still running half a marathon, basically.
Right. I mean, there's still soccer and gymnastics and swim lessons and carting them off to camp and all the summertime birthday parties outside.
Presents, cake, heat. You need a vacation from all that is what you need.
That's what it sounds like.
Let's start. Why don't we start with talking about having keeping our energy levels up, right?
Yes.
There's a lot of different reasons. Well, what do you think? Why do we get a little fatigued during the summer months?
Well, it's hot outside. Have any of you noticed the record temperatures?
Yeah, down here in South Florida, it's been crazy.
Right now. So this is 12 noon Eastern time, Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Robson, what is it, 94 you said? 96. It's 96 degrees, which means in the heat index.
Yeah, add the humidity, and it's probably 110. That's it, yeah.
So the heat, it just drains your energy. The body is working harder to stay cool.
Yeah, and then the heat causes you to lose more water, especially when you're more active. So
maybe
just dehydration. You need some good. You need to keep your. You got to keep drinking that water, right?
That's right.
All the time. Longer days in general, right?
Right. So longer days means that maybe you're staying up later.
I think that's what it is. Most people during the summer, I think in general, especially if you have kids, right? Do your kids stay up a little later?
They are all the bedtime, the nighttime routines out the door. Even my husband's staying up later.
Yeah.
And he's, he cracks the whip when it's bedtime, but everyone's staying up later.
Yeah. So we're outside, we're getting dehydrated, we're going to bed later, getting up early, right with the sun. And so maybe we get a little fatigued, right?
Right. And so what that means though, when the days are longer, less melatonin.
Yeah, that's a very good point, right?
So,
yeah.
And then the melatonin, that's our sleep hormone.
Yeah, cortisol during the day, that goes down, melatonin comes up at night. If you're staying up longer, you mess that kind of rhythm up a little bit. That goes back to that whole show we did about circadian rhythms and stuff, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, see, that was a while ago. But another interesting thing, right? One of our researchers, Dana Dye, found some research showing that people tend to eat more carbs, more of the sweet, starchy carbs and stuff during the summer, and you combine that with sunlight, and you get more fatigue. Now, for us adults, maybe it's carb-heavy beer and sunlight and making us tired.
So the carbs in the sunlight, what's happening is they're increasing serotonin.
Yeah.
So you kind of feel a little more chill, a little more relaxed.
Yeah. Even at 2 o'clock, but you still got a golf game coming up. You got tennis. You got another birthday party to go to.
I know.
You don't have time for that.
So you know what I'm starting to do, Dr. Mike, which I never do. I'm having like a 2 o'clock coffee.
Really? I thought you were going to say something else.
No, I'm having a 2 o'clock coffee or espresso. I'm just like, is there anything left in this coffee pot? It's happening.
I thought, because let's talk a little bit about some tips how you can increase your energy, right? I thought you were going to say, because I know you're a big proponent of naps.
Yes.
Yes.
Well, I think that's one way to kind of keep your energy up in the summer. If you're staying up later, your routine's not quite the same, then add in a nap.
Yeah.
Sleep in if you can.
Yeah.
Allow the kids to sleep in. Allow, you hear me?
Yeah, allow the kids to sleep in. I'm just, and I think there's some people that relate to me out there. I'm just not much of a napper. It's hard for me. I don't nap well.
I feel sorry for you.
I wish I was.
There's nothing better than a good siesta.
I wish I was a good napper. It just doesn't work for me. So that's a good tip. Another tip, hey, do your activities in the morning or the evening.
Stay out of that midday sun. What are the hours? Is it like 11 a.m. is when it starts?
Well, in South Florida, it's 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. is that you got to stay inside. But most places, I think it's like 11-ish,
around 11 until
2-ish, 3-ish.
2 or 3, where the sun is kind of directly shining
hitting
down
hard.
on you.
Yeah.
To really avoid those hours.
And you do want to be careful, especially if you're in the South right now, the Southeast, Southwest, when you're dealing with heat indexes over 100, because it can be dangerous. Even if you're a good, healthy person, during a heat advisory, it is recommended that everyone avoid those peak sun hours.
Yeah, and check on those grandmas and grandpas that really don't like to run the AC.
I know.
Make sure you just just say, look, Mom, we're turning on this air today.
Yeah.
It's hot.
It's hot. Make sure that they're okay. You had mentioned you're a big fan, obviously, of B vitamins during this time.
Right. Well, because ultimately your energy comes from the calories that we eat, but the B vitamins helps to release those calories from the foods that we eat. We just talked about B12.
We did a whole show. Was that last week?
That was last week.
Oh my God, I didn't even realize that. That feels like a month or two ago.
Right. So B vitamins, those are your energizing vitamins. So consider adding in some B nutrients.
Yeah. Hey, don't forget, we have comments here that you can comment and talk to us. We'd love to hear from you. Let us know
where
what
are you?
Where's everybody at here? Let us know what you're doing. Let us know what you think about some of our suggestions.
Yeah, we can do a roll call. What's the temperature? Where are you from, and how hot is it right now?
Yeah, for us, it's like this. It's like the surface of the sun. All right, I'm going to throw in, besides B vitamins, I'm going to throw in my foundational nutrient, CoQ10.
Oh,
I think that's critical.
Yeah.
I think you should be taking it every day, anyways. But at least during the summer months, that ubiquinol CoQ10 is all about taking that food and helping your cells turn that into ATP, that cellular energy. That's going to help. It's not a stimulant, right? That's important.
Right.
It's really working at the cell level. That's really what you need.
That's right. That's that pure energy.
Yeah,
That's what I like to call it.
We have a review here, systematic review, a meta-analysis. That's where you pull all these different studies, right? Of 13 trials showed that CoQ10 is safe and effective for reducing fatigue symptoms.
There you have it, CoQ10, B vitamin.
I think that was the study you found, wasn't it?
Oh, no, that was Dana Dye.
Dana Dye, our researcher, found that again. So let's kind of move it now. So we'll try some of that stuff.
Yeah. Keep your energy up.
Go ahead and have your espresso and take your nap. That's going to be hard.
Okay.
Let your kids sleep in.
But sometimes you have to make a choice.
Yeah.
I can't take a nap, so then how do I increase my energy? And that's
so
when
for you,
the espresso comes in.
Right. So besides feeling low in energy, we're just, and this may be a cause of that, we're just out in the sun more.
Yeah.
We're spending more time outside. Again, please keep it to the healthy hours, but regardless, you're at birthday parties, at pools now, right? It's just the way it is.
Yes.
So we got to do some things to protect ourselves. And I know you're a big proponent of the UV clothes or shirts.
UV clothing. I encourage all of you to invest in 1 or 2 UV. Those are the long sleeve shirts. They are very protected. The UV hats. Now they have the UV pants. They have full-on UV outfits.
Glasses.
That you can wear.
Sunglasses.
Sunglasses. They're not just for the cool people. Sunglasses are essential. And make sure that you have, the hat, the sunglasses, and of course, the sunblock.
The sunblock. Now, before we go to the sunscreen sunblocks, you mentioned it's important to have the polarized sunglasses, right?
Right. So the polarized sunglasses, I like them because one, I can see my kids better if they're in the pool. We fish a lot in the summer, so you can one see the fish and you can see the gators coming your way. If you live in South Florida.
Yeah, people don't understand that if they're not from South Florida. You really do have to watch for the gators. Let's move on to the sunscreen, sunblock. Everybody talks about SPF, right? And we just want to let our audience know that basically SPF of 15 to 30 is about the range you want to be. Anything over 30, like what's it up to 90 now?
90, it's really overkill.
It's overkill.
The percentage difference of protection
from 30 to 90 really isn't
30,
much.
Right.
And they're going to cost more because it's 90. Whoa, right? It's going to cost a little bit more money.
It will.
So we did a whole, I don't remember how long ago it was, but we did a whole show about sunscreen and right, sunblock.
A couple of years ago.
And you went to the beach with your kids.
So maybe this was a couple of years ago. I went to the beach. It was a birthday. It was a birthday beach day. And I put lots of sunblock.
I wish we had that picture.
Well, you can find it. If you go back into the LE Live archives, you'll certainly find a show all about sun protection.
Yeah.
And yes, most people simply do not put on enough, Dr. Mike.
You always say you should have enough on where people can see it.
You can see it, and on that show, you may not remember this. Remember, we had a glass. It was a shot glass.
I do remember. Yeah.
And the amount that you would need to cover your body is as much as what the amount in a shot glass. That's how much. So imagine that amount.
Yeah. Well, wasn't it actually a shot even like per major body part? It wasn't just one shot?
I don't know, but we'll have to go back and refresh ourselves. But it was
basically,
a lot.
if you put a little like dime in your hand, you go like this, that's not enough. It needs to be and really get it all over everything.
Yes, and look, don't listen to your kids. If you have kids out there and your kids are now saying they're kind of self-conscious about all their face and their arms being white, don't listen to them. But that's where I am now with my kids.
Yeah.
Even yesterday, my son, it was a pool day. And he's like, please rub it in, Mom, please.
Because he was standing out.
At camp. But, do your job, protect your family members.
For sure.
That's what matters
You
most.
got to be a parent.
It's not about the looks.
You got to be a parent. If you do get sunburned, right? And sometimes you don't always know it right away, right? Because you're out and you're swimming and, whatever. You often feel it a little bit later when you start to cool off.
Yes.
Right? Sometimes when you get out of the shower is when you really feel, oh gosh, I'm hot. Number one thing with the sunburn, right? Number one thing, cold water.
Okay.
Yeah. Not back in the pool because you're back in the sun. I'm talking a cold shower, cold towel.
Okay.
It's a burn.
So cool the skin.
It's a burn. You treat it like a burn. You can have all the anointments you want afterwards. But start with cold water. Absolutely.
Okay.
And then speaking of water.
The 3 H's of the summer.
What do you think they are?
Hydration, hydration, hydration.
H2O, H2O, H2O. That's right. You got to make sure you're drinking lots of water, especially if you're adult enjoying an adult beverage.
Right. The rule. 1 glass of water between each adult beverage.
Yeah. In the now I'm going to tell you what is recommended. Mm-hmm. And most people are going to laugh at this. You're only supposed to have 1 adult beverage every hour, followed by, and within that hour, followed by some cold water. Mm-hmm. Now let's be real. I stretch it to 2 per hour.
Oh my goodness.
With water. In between.
Okay, so you do have the water.
It's more realistic. Come on, let's be honest, right? But know your limit. No, because when you're out in the sun and you're drinking,
that's really when you get burnt. Have you ever seen? You go to the resorts or the hotels, and you see the person, they're drinking, and now they say, okay, I'm going to do a little sunbathing, and you can see they are pink.
Yeah.
Complete, and they don't even know.
They don't even know. They don't feel it, but they will shortly. All right, now let's talk about nutrients that you can add to your routine that, hey, can maybe help out with all that sun, right? And the first one, I think, it's just cool, right?
The name of it.
The name is cool. Its story is cool. Do you want to say the name?
Yes. Polypodium leucotomus.
Do we have I think we had a picture.
It's a fern extract.
Yeah. There it is.
The desert fern,
it's
right,
a desert.
Dr. Mike?
It's a desert fern. Interesting thing about this fern, the reason it was researched, which, by the way, it's a prescription type of sunscreen. I think, is it Australia? I can't remember. But what they noticed is that this fern stays green even during the hottest time of the desert. And so researchers are like, how is it doing that? Turns out that in those leaves, those little leaves, inside the cells, they have compounds that act as sunscreen, basically.
Wow.
Yeah, that act as a way to block all of that sun coming in.
Yeah, well, it targets inflammation, UV-induced reddening of the skin. It also protects the skin from DNA damage from the sun.
It's really cool. Now, in this country, we cannot say that replaces sunscreen.
Oh, absolutely
You
not.
still need to do your sunscreen. You need to apply a lot of it. You got to we didn't talk about reapplying. There's a whole other story there. Got to make sure even if it's water resistant, you got to reapply every couple of hours. But you would take this nutrient in addition to that routine, right?
Yes. So that's something just to keep on deck.
Yeah. And it's a capsule. It's not like a tea. It's a capsule.
Right.
Yeah, very easy to do. Next is niacinamide. Now, we've talked about this before.
Yeah, it's a B vitamin.
B vitamin. There you go. B vitamin.
Yeah,
more bees.
More than just for energy, for sun protection as well. It protects against UV-induced immune suppression. Too much sun can have that effect. And so we know that niacinamide can help with that. And there's also some research with cancer protection as well.
Yeah, so here's how to take it. Here's my opinion, right? If you're doing a B complex, if that's part of your nutritional routine, maybe for those, because you don't have to take an extra B3 all the time. You could just do it when you know you're going to be at the pool party, at the beach or at the pool, right? About 2 hours. And that's same for the fern, about 2 hours before you go out, that's when you could take these, right? But you could keep your normal B regimen. Yeah.
Yes, and then if you forget, you can also add them in after the fact.
Because it helps as well, right? This is an interesting one, and I think we have some pictures of this. Oh, look at that. Doesn't that look... Now here's the thing, that's not blood oranges.
Right, there's a difference.
There's a red oranges. And the difference is in some of the compounds, the antioxidants that you find in them. What do we know about that? That just looks good.
I know, and refreshing.
It does, yeah, it's like that just looks good.
Well, again, it's the UV-induced reddening, but what this one is nice is research shows decreased formation of those pigmented age spots that you develop.
It happens.
If you've had lots of sun exposure.
It happens. You see, I'm in my 50s, and this is when you kind of start seeing little spots and stuff on people. Now, thank God I have more Mediterranean genetics, so I don't anticipate I'll have that too much of it, but I have friends, the minute they hit 50, that you could start seeing, I gotta be careful, go get those checked. Right.
Oh, now that's true.
Yeah, make sure you're being checked. Okay, so those great suggestions. You got the polypodium, you got the niacinamide, and you got the red oranges. Again, you could take these just when you're having a big day out in the sun.
That's right.
Now, what about traveling specifically, right? Right, going on summer vacation. By the way, everything we've mentioned so far is important for traveling as well, right?
Very important to keep in your toolbox.
Yeah, keep in your toolbox. One of the biggest thing I think people have, and let us know what you think about this, is when they travel, is it throws off their sleep schedules.
For sure. Yeah. Especially if you're traveling through time zones.
Oh, they could totally miss
Easterly
it.
travel.
Totally.
Traveling east through time zones specifically.
Yeah, that just
seems to be brutal.
It is, yeah. So, big thing.
Melatonin. Yes,
very
melatonin.
Simple.
That's the sleep, controls the sleep-wake cycle.
Yep.
And helps to keep your rhythms aligned.
Yeah, there's circadian rhythms. We know melatonin also is really good at making sure you have good, healthy, restful sleep, going through those stages, right?
Yes.
That you're supposed to cycle through. More of the deeper sleep, more of the REM, that kind of stuff. So melatonin. If you've never taken it before, you don't need a whole bunch. Matter of fact, you probably want to start with like a milligram maybe, right?
Right, right. And then test it out. And then you'll know when you hit your level for yourself.
I do 5 milligrams a night.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm right at about 3 when I take it.
Yeah, I do magnesium 3 and 8 and melatonin at night.
Oh yeah, tell us about the magnesium 3 and 8.
I love it. Is that that's the next one. I didn't even know that. I didn't even know that it was the next one. Yeah, magnesium 3 and 8 is that form of magnesium that is readily absorbed, has a great bioavailability, which means it gets into the cells great, right? Probably research has shown probably better than any other form, especially for the brain magnesium.
Yes.
It gets into the brain, no doubt. And they have some research. We had Dr. Wu on a podcast, who was the formulator of one of those products, and she had mentioned that there is improvement in deep sleep and REM sleep. Love it. I highly recommend magnesium L3 and 8 at night.
Yes. I mean, you've kind of convinced me.
Go for it. Give it a shot. So I do both.
I don't have trouble with sleeping.
I do both. Well, I didn't add the magnesium 3 and 8 for sleeping. I got my melatonin for that.
Okay.
I just really wanted to increase brain magnesium levels. And I thought, well, if it helps calms me down a little bit at night, why not just do it at night?
Yeah.
Right. And it works. It is awesome. So that's magnesium L3 and 8. Summertime immunity. Last little section.
Well, especially if you're traveling. All those coughing people on the plane.
It can get
snotty kids.
And they don't. Now that we're out of those weird last 3 years, they're not cleaning those planes like they're.
I still,
used to.
but if you ask for those little alcohol wipes, they'll still give them to you. You have to ask.
Wipe everything down.
Wipe it down.
Yeah.
Number 1.
Yeah, I always find it so interesting when you get into a plane, you get in your seat, and for like the first 10 minutes, all you hear is, right? Do you ever notice that? It's like so, and then you got kids like sneezing and.
Maybe you're just more aware of it.
Maybe so.
At that moment,
maybe so. But you're sitting there like,
being packed in like sardines.
Yeah, so we got to keep your immune system strong all year long. But definitely during the summer months, because think about it: sun, heat. You're not drinking maybe enough water. Maybe you got some alcohol on board. All of that stuff dampens your immune response.
That's so true. And how often have you returned from a vacation with a cold?
So many people say this, right? They come back and they have didn't we have one of our producers, Hannah, she came back once and was sick and had to take some more days off and everything. She's back there. I don't know if she's laughing or not.
She is. She raised her hand. Hannah had to experience that. But so things to keep your immune system robust when you're traveling.
Give me your favorite. Give me your like favorite ones for immune. What we do?
Good old vitamin C.
There you go. Vitamin C, always a good one.
Vitamin C, quercetin.
Quercetin, that's great. Zinc.
Oh wait, and one more. Vitamin D.
Yeah, I would say D is kind of your foundation.
Just say 1 or 2.
Yeah, D is kind of your foundation. That should be daily, all the time.
Yes.
But extra C, the quercetin, which by the way, if you're going into an area where there's a lot of allergy stuff, quercetin is great for that. By the way, you said zinc. That's big.
Yeah.
When I used to fly a lot, I would take zinc before I got on the plane. The zinc lozenge.
Like right at that moment.
Right at that, I'd take that zinc lozenge. I think that was helpful. And then there's a probiotic. That's really good, right?
So, we know that the immune system, like the majority of the immune system, is kind of in the gut, right? And so gut health is vital to supporting the health of the immune system. And there are specific strains of probiotics that have been shown to kind of keep the immune system robust.
Yeah. And that's what's important too, is to understand that it's not just your general like GI probiotic. This is a specific strain, Lactobacillus rhamnosus, I said that right, I think so. That that specific strain is what helps to boost immunity.
Right. So it's the rhamnosus CRL1505.
And we're not trying. That's not meant to confuse people.
No, it's just when you start looking at probiotics and their benefits for specific health concerns, you have to kind of look at those numbers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You do. Those numbers. All right. So there you go. A lot of suggestions there. Now we just have a couple final thoughts, right? I'm going to add one.
Oh.
I'm adding a thought here.
Okay. Let's hear it.
So here's I'm gonna say two things happen to people when we're traveling a lot during summer or just being more active and out in the summer. Two things. We especially as you get older, muscle soreness. Number one. Number two, tummy problems because we're eating different.
Oh, yes.
That's the new one I was going to add.
That is so true.
Especially when you travel on vacation.
That is so true, Dr. Mike. And you can't find the food sometimes that like really sit well with you. You're trying new things. You're eating at restaurants.
Fatty, cheesy,
you're
carby.
Overindulging. If you're on a cruise and there's the endless buffet.
Midnight buffet.
The midnight buffet?
Yes, it's one of the best. God. Yeah, so I think stomach issues are also a problem. For the stomach issues, good old-fashioned probiotics again. I think that's key. Digestive enzymes could also help.
Yes.
Yeah.
But absolutely, I don't travel without them.
I don't. I believe anything she says.
I don't travel without them because when you're traveling, yes, you're eating, maybe you can't get your milk with the natural lactase enzymes that you normally would eat.
Right.
You have a little ice cream. You're having a little dessert.
Yeah, you should enjoy life. Enjoy. But enzymes, probiotics can help, right? Muscle soreness. What do you think?
I think this is so hilarious because it happens to so many people. You go on vacation. And then you're now become Mr. or Mrs. Adventure. Yeah. Now for me, I like all the really nice fitness centers at the resorts. Like this is top of the line fitness centers, and everyone's like, "Yeah, I have more time. I'm gonna go work out."
Yeah. Well, that's you. That's a small percent of people. Most people, what they're doing, like cruise is a great example. You go on a cruise, you're out at sea for the first day or two. So people are swimming and they're dancing. And then when it's time when they get to their destination to go on like one of those excursions, now they can barely walk because they're sore.
Or they go on the excursion, now they're hiking or they're kayaking. Yeah. Or they're doing, all the water sports and maybe golfing more.
Maybe golf. So number one suggestion. I know we both think
tart cherry.
Tart cherry, without a doubt.
My favorite.
Yeah,
tart cherry.
Tart cherry.
500 milligrams.
Can help muscle soreness and stiffness, leading to faster recovery from strenuous exercise. That is researched, based, and published, right?
Yes.
Quercetin, we added that too, right?
Yes.
That's another one.
Yeah, it can help with muscle fatigue as well.
Yep.
And recovery.
So probiotics, digestive enzymes, have a little tart cherry ready to go.
I like those additional ones.
I think that's good. We just want you to have a great time in summer, but we want you to also stick to your routine as much as you can.
Or maybe add a few additional things to your routine.
Or maybe add some to help. Summer-specific nutrition, right? That's pretty good. Dr. Crystal, thanks for joining me today. We have a nice article, right?
We do.
There it is on your screen, lifeextension.com/summertime, where it goes into more details. Right? You're going to start singing for us? That's great. So there it is, /summertime. Go check that out. Don't forget, we go live every Wednesday at 12 noon. We want to thank you for joining us today. Again, when you watch this, because we have a lot of people watch these shows afterwards, right?
Very true.
These are posted for like a week. We get a lot of views then. But whenever you watch it, comment, like, share, and hit that interested button so you know when we're always going live. That's every Wednesday, 12 noon Eastern Time. I'm Dr. Mike. That's
Dr. Crystal.
We'll see you next time.